The problem with breast cancer research. Hey, it's Prince Queens, and I just figured I wanted to make a quick video talking about breast cancer research funding and how it's kind of problematic on account of the fact that there has been a recent semi-controversy with the game that I'm always playing, Overwatch. See, in the game Overwatch, one of the characters that you can play is Mercy. I've actually made a whole video about her. Mercy is a healer, and she is an angel. She can heal you, and she can even resurrect you, and she's a nanobiologist. Not only does she have big tits, but she's a nanobiologist, so presumably maybe she could cure cancer. I don't know. Mercy is having a fundraiser this month for breast cancer research. It's not technically Mercy's fundraiser. It's the Breast Cancer Research Foundation that is raising money, and they're offering this thing where you can buy on Overwatch a skin for Mercy that is pink in a rather Pepto-Bismol kind of way. You pay $15 and you get this new skin, and it's the only time that you can get the skin, and supposedly all of the money goes to breast cancer research. Except for maybe it doesn't. Some people are worried that maybe it doesn't, according to this story, because initially they said that it was some amount of money that was going to the breast cancer research, but it's actually some other amount of money that's going to the breast cancer research. But Sony is saying, no, all of it's going, and I'm not exactly sure what Blizzard is saying. The game company Blizzard, I'm not really sure. But this brought up a lot of questions in people's minds, and I figured I would offer my take as a person that advocates for the gender-specific issues of men and boys. So the first thing to keep in mind about this particular organization that raises money for breast cancer research, it's pretty well funded and well organized. It's organized by, it seems to be some sort of a side project for some woman who became rich by working in the cosmetic industry. I believe Estee Lauder. I'm not exactly sure if she was the CEO or what of that, but she became wealthy by doing that. And thus, this might just be her sort of philanthropic side project. But here's the thing that people don't quite understand about charities. A lot of charities are basically just businesses, and they try to pretend that they aren't, but that isn't necessarily true so much of the time. And there's a lot of weird kind of fine print details about how charities spend their money and where it really goes, administrators and that kind of a thing. That being said, I felt obligated to go ahead and actually look up the Wikipedia for the organization that they're raising money for on Overwatch. It's called the Breast Cancer Research Foundation, and they have raised $569 million to support clinical and translational research on breast cancer at medical institutions in the United States and abroad. Other than that, what I found particularly interesting is how little information is actually on the Wikipedia. It's kind of a here's what we do, don't ask any more questions kind of a thing. And what I particularly thought was funny was looking at the funding and spending, because they have to make a little pie chart so that everybody knows where the money's going. And they assure us that, 90.6% is actually going to research and awareness. Oh wait, research and awareness? What does awareness for breast cancer mean exactly? What does that even mean? People aren't aware of breast cancer, so you need to raise more awareness for what it is? I don't know. Sounds less than completely straightforward to me. I'm not really sure. It sounds like advertising money is what that sounds like to me. And it sounds like a lot of excuse. It sounds like a big excuse to pay a whole bunch of different people who are basically advertisers for this research organization. And, there's a lot of charities that are kind of like that. The Southern Poverty Law Center, what do they do? What do they actually do? Aside from label non-hateful people as hateful. I don't know. I haven't heard of them actually doing anything. Aside from smearing people. So, yeah. That happens with breast cancer research. It just seems to be this big organized business in many, many different ways. It's not that hard to figure out if you actually bother to look a little bit. But, ultimately, yeah, it's not bad to raise money for breast cancer. Any scientific discovery in terms of any cancer can help all of the other types of cancer. So it's not like it's bad to raise money for breast cancer. Obviously. But if we're going to be talking about this, I like to mention that prostate cancer kills more people, receives less than half of the budget per year. Breast cancer is actually the most well-funded cancer in terms of research trying to cure it or prevent immune people. Vaccinate? Yeah, people donate a lot of money to breast cancer research. It's very, very, very well funded. And there's probably two reasons for this. The first one is mainly just that we are very gynocentric. Nobody likes to see women upset or hurt. And so when women say, this is this horrible thing, breast cancer affects all these women per year. Well, technically, actually, I think maybe even more people get prostate cancer. No, it's less, but more people die of prostate cancer is what I'm thinking is it. That's what I remember. But with breast cancer, it is women and people care more about women. But the other point is kind of interesting to think about, and my friend brought this up, is that when women have breast cancer, they often have to get mastectomies, and people don't like that. Because if, let's say even a rich husband has a really hot trophy wife and then she gets breast cancer, he's going to be really, really bummed by that. So he might end up donating a lot of money to breast cancer research. I don't know. I'm not a straight guy, but I thought that was interesting. Anyhow, it's not that I think that breast cancer research is actually problematic. I like to draw people's attention to how things really are so that people think about things in a little bit greater detail. If you're a gay guy, for example, there's so many things that are wrong with the gay male community at this very moment. You can potentially donate money to groups that are trying to help gay men with crystal meth problems. Maybe try to avoid anything that is 12-step. That's actually tends to be kind of culty by itself. But there might be some good organizations that are trying to help gay men deal with crystal meth. And that's a major, major problem. It's leading to lots and lots of deaths within our own community. And, the last thing that you necessarily need to be donating money to is this gigantic organization that probably mostly makes a whole bunch of money from this. I'm not saying that you shouldn't do it, and it's not at all a good thing to donate to breast cancer research, but I think that if you're actively going to shop with your dollars, and I realize that it's nice to get a cool Mercy skin for Overwatch, but yeah, you should think about this stuff. That's all.